What were we supposed to clap?
No, I was just doing it because in case I got to edit later.
Alright, you live.
Yeah, just to make sure. Okay, and we're live now. Apparently.
Okay.
So.
Sweet. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hi, Larry.
Welcome to
Hello, Larry.
another exciting week of Extra Nerdy Gentlemen. We switched up days on you all.
Yeah. Because we like to keep you guessing.
Tricked you. Hope you all are having a fantastic week. I know we at Extra Nerdy Gentlemen are trying our best too. Anything
It's hard
new?
sometimes.
Anything new this week, Kevin? Corey?
I think it got 5 degrees hotter than the average most days.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sun is like the Mario sun.
Yeah, it's super hot. I'll kill you all.
It's Black Hole Sun.
Black hole sun.
That sound great?
Yeah. We can only sing 30 seconds of that, so, so use them wisely.
Can we sing like 30 seconds and then stop? And then later on sing 30 more seconds and then stop?
What about the karaoke?
Yeah.
Let's do the karaoke version.
Where you sing 30 seconds, then you got to stop, collaborate, and listen.
Oh, that reminds me of that meme that's like, despite all the pandemic stuff, that Vanilla Ice was going to have a concert in like Texas during the 4th of July. And everyone was like, oh, that's okay. We're still allowed groups of 10. I was like, oh, man.
That's a good internet burn. I saw one with Shaquille O'Neal the other day. It's like still like the best comment on the internet. He has a new yacht and he's like, just got this, what should I name it? And someone's like, name it free throw because you're never going to sink it.
Did he name it that? He should have.
Oh, he should have. I don't know if he did or not. Man,
It's like when Mountain Muse did the name this float thing, and they came up with the Mike Tyson. I don't even think it made sense why it was called the Mike Tyson, was it?
it was just someone wrote Mike.
What's
Whatever.
the name of that?
That'll be great, this election, if Mike Tyson ends up on Prestonsburg City Council just by virtue of write-in vote.
You have to be here.
Yeah. And then he relocates. Like, he's like, I don't know why I'm supposed to be here, but I'm here now.
That would be so bad.
I vote that everybody gets a tiger. Or actually, that'd be pretty sweet.
The entire town of Prestonsburg becomes the Tiger Kingdom.
Yeah. And then they have to change the high school mascot from Black Cat to Tiger.
Isn't there already the... No, they're Jaguars.
Yeah.
They're new.
Yeah, the Floyd Central Jaguars. Yeah.
Yep.
We try to generalize this, but we also, a lot of our references are much more localized than we expect.
Yeah.
That's my fault. I admit that.
That's fine. It's fine. Well, I guess we'll jump into it. How much money is too much money to pay for a brand new video game? Do you think what we're currently paying is too much?
Actually, no, and to be honest, that video game price has been around for a while. Like, even back when there was, like, Nintendo, like, it was still $50 and $60 averagely, which back then, you know, it was a substantial amount. It's not so much now.
Right.
But, I don't know. I would say some of those, like on Steam Collector's Edition, like Ultra Mega Collector's Edition, that's like $100 or $120, that would pain me if I had to pay it. I'd be like, can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, with the next-gen consoles coming out, there's talks and actually some proof that the games are going to be sitting about $70, which to me is not a huge jump. I mean, that's what, $5?
Most games run 60 average.
I thought they were
so
65.
$5-10.
Well, after taxes, they're like 64 or something.
Yeah.
So you're looking at $75 or so for a new game after tax and everything.
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. But yeah, that's what the price point is for games coming out, and honestly, I think it's justified. With new hardware, new games have to develop with those engines and everything, and
Plus cost of the components.
yeah, it's gonna. That's really how the companies are going to make their money in a lot of ways too. Though, like we've talked about, how Sony, their systems are going to cost less than what it's costing Sony to make them.
Right.
So of course, Sony going the way of the more single player market and everything, they want to sell their their games. They're not third party games or anything like that. It's going to be like a lot of Sony AAA titles that IP titles, so that they can make their money back, and that of course is really how they make their money.
There is some speculation that maybe PlayStation is trying to partner up with Naughty Dog, because Naughty Dog's page is like completely just flooded with job openings. They're looking for like graphics analysis and debuggers and all that stuff, and it's saying that they're thinking, like, for instance, The Last of Us 2, it didn't come out for the new consoles, but they're thinking Naughty Dog's going to work on that and, basically revamp it with the new hardware so that way it'll release with the new consoles.
So kind of how they are doing with a lot of games, like, hey, if you bought this for the current gen, if you buy the next gen console, you'll get it for the next gen console as well, so you're not going to rebuy the game.
But it's going to be like a remaster kind of,
Okay,
with enhanced graphic.
Okay, well, then I guess it's a little bit different then.
Yeah. Well, it was, with some of the games that came out on PS3, they got released, as a remastered edition for the PS4. There wasn't really a price hike with that, even though they were remastered. Like Last of Us, I think when it was released with the remastered edition, it was maybe $40, and like now you can get it as part of their greatest hits collection for $20.
I know there's a game coming out for the PS5 that Corey's going to be very excited about.
Legend of Zelda.
Skyrim. I'm not joking. Skyrim is supposedly coming out.
How many? How? That is like
the most milked franchise.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanna say I'm overly impressed by mod. First of all, you can play the PlayStation 5 version of it now on Steam with all the mods. And stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can literally make it where it's got like 4K graphics now with all these mods that people have put on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've already played the PlayStation 5 version. I don't even have to buy it at this point.
No.
I mean, you can even sync up a PlayStation controller to your PC and use it.
Well, I could play it on TV just like a PlayStation because I got a Steam Link.
Exactly.
How many platforms is that available on?
All of them.
Like literally
I'm pretty sure we could play it on.
on the device that should not be named.
Yeah.
I know it was on PlayStation 3. It's probably on Xbox.
It was Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PC.
The newer consoles. Like
It's on
Pokemon,
Switch.
Yeah, it's on Switch.
Was it on Wii U?
I don't think it was on Wii U.
I don't think it was a Nintendo product until Switch.
Until Switch, and that was one of the first games that came out for the Switch. And I was kind of excited about that, even though I still haven't purchased it.
I bought it.
Because I was like, oh, cool, you can use the Joy-Cons, and but I'm like, no.
Well, I just play it, and I'm like, man, I miss the mod so much.
I miss the mod.
And there's no way to mod it on there.
I miss making the game better.
I want to fix Bethesda's mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, play on your smart fridge or.
Speaking of mistakes by Bethesda, Fallout 76, right?
Yeah. So who Corey was pointing at over there, we've got some additional help here tonight with Alex Jude coming in here. I said earlier that he was my unpaid intern.
Okay.
So,
Just to clarify.
You get paid with gold doubloons.
Yeah. You guys are getting
You have
paid?
to find them.
I'm gonna send him a PDF of a treasure map later. And it's gonna be a nice scavenger hunt, I think.
Is he gonna leave him like in Walmart where the ramen noodles are?
Yeah. He's got to dig underneath the self checkout.
I'm pretty sure there's 2 quarters and a penny under there.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Well, jumping off from that cost of the next gen games, how about an old game selling for $114,000?
Well, that's definitely too expensive.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I didn't read on it, but I've seen
Super
it.
Mario Brothers, sealed, all perfect, pristine condition with the little plastic tag on the back. $114,000, which broke the record previously for $100,150. that was set in, was it 2019, I think, maybe? Something like that. Yeah. I believe so. But yeah, that's a lot of money. A lot of money for an old game that's really going to just sit there, I guess.
Yeah. Like, you can look at it. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Well, there's that one guy that I fail to remember his name. The guy that had the video game memorabilia museum.
Mm-hmm.
He started pets.com and toys.com when the .com boom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That guy. He was the one that bought the original prototype Super NES PlayStation console for like, I can't remember, it was a lot, like 300,000 or something.
Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So it wouldn't surprise me someone like that would buy that.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
to
it
put-
was him.
Yeah, just to put it in his museum because it's part of video game history.
Yeah. You finding out some more info on there for us?
Yeah,
Thomas?
that's what I was trying to read here. The game was part of a collection of video games from the 80s and 90s that sold to various buyers for nearly $700,000. So the whole collection sold for nearly $700,000. That's a lot of money for a lot of older games. We're talking about $70 for a new game.
Yeah.
You know, kind of going back to the newer games. That's just like
Mick, one more.
that's just the base edition though. So are we going to see like a big price jump with the
Duck Hunt version?
special editions and all of that we're going to going to come out? They're going to be instead of $100, $120.
Oh, we went back to video games.
Yeah, I went back to I went back to that.
We're back to the price hike.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this earlier. The special editions aren't what they used to be. Used to you
No.
got like a real cool box or some figures or
Statue.
something cool came with these games. Now you don't really get that much with them. You get some in-game content. I mean, how much honestly does that in-game content cost them to make?
Yeah. Like, it's already stuff they've developed because otherwise it wouldn't be
It's just
with the
coded.
pre-order.
It's just
Yeah.
coded in there. And is the premium price for these special editions, is it really worth it anymore? You got a new skin.
Yeah.
Or you got a cosmetic item, or you got a special
Yeah.
item. I don't know. There's some people that they're collectors, man.
Yeah.
They want everything in the game.
It used to be worth it to me to get those like extra skins, but like it's not really doing anything for gameplay.
I mean, if it comes in like a bundle, I'm not going to complain. Like if you get like DLC that comes with like certain, we'll say a fighting game, for instance, certain like fighters
Yeah.
and some skins, that's cool. But I'm not going to just buy DLC or like the in-game content just for skins anymore.
No.
Just like before on League, I would buy certain skins.
Pay to lose.
Pay to lose.
Yeah.
Hey, we won.
Now, if
We
you,
won
if
the game the other day.
if it's made to be an unlockable, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, there's no point in paying for it. Like that's the thing with Fortnite. I'm pretty sure their entire model is just based on like customizing your character because I think that's the only reason that they have it is free to play. And I'm not paying $4.99 just to play as Jason Momoa Aquaman.
I feel like Apple threw a big investment in Fortnite recently.
I'm not surprised.
It was like 300 billion or something. Some crazy
Wow.
number.
Wow, that's please come to our platform
Yeah.
specifically.
I mean, that's another one though that like just like with Skyrim, it's one of those that you can just play it on anything.
Yeah, you really.
Oh, my bad. It's not that much. They invest 250 million.
That's still.
I mean, still that's
hefty
quite a
investment.
Yeah.
I would like
Nothing to Apple. Considerable. That's life-changing money for us. We could upgrade the entire city with the $250 million
we could.
and still have $249 million left over.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So I mean,
Oh, this is gross. Fortnite estimated to earn $1.5 million per day on iOS.
I hate
Just
that.
iOS,
Just iOS, $1.5 million.
and it's on like you were saying, like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And more than
It's
$3
Skyrim.
million a day.
You can play it on your Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
It's gross.
You want to play it on your toaster?
Epic Games is making $3 million a day off Fortnite.
Jeez.
They have so many other games too.
Yeah.
I posted this the other day. This is not Epic Games, but Rare Games is what it reminded me of. Donkey Kong Country.
Oh yeah.
One. The one for SNES is coming to the Switch, which makes me happy because I always loved that game. That was one of my favorite games for the Super Nintendo.
Something that I found out last night. I've talked about the Tubi service before, but it goes along with the Donkey. Did you know there was a Donkey Kong Country animated series?
I do remember that.
I vaguely
They come
remember
on,
that. I also remember
Fox.
the books.
Yeah,
They come on Fox back in the day.
yeah. It is on
Or
Tubi
CW.
for free. No, it would have been Fox Kids, I think.
Would it?
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's either one of the two. I remember that was on there, and that Earthworm Jim
Yeah.
animated series.
Earthworm Jim, that might have been WB.
It could have been one
Yeah,
of
WB's
WB's Fox.
Yeah. Well, Kids WB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do remember that. It was like a 3D.
Yeah.
Toy
It looked
Story
kind of like how
style.
the pretty much how the game looked, but more 3-dimensional than the game.
It was I don't know. It was
But for
Yeah.
back then, though, that game was really, like,
hard and frustrating.
I love that game. The hardest levels on that game were the minecart ones. I hated those.
I would compare later in that game equally as hard as Super Mario Bros. 3: The Skyland.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like at that point, Nintendo hated everyone and punished them with that.
Yeah. They had such a reputation for being a family-friendly company.
Everybody's like snapping controllers in hand. You're like, screw this game.
Talking about price points of games, I kind of wonder how much the price point of the controllers are going to be for the next-gen consoles.
I could really not see those going up because really, as far as how they are, I wouldn't say that there's any more hardware involved.
Yeah, probably true.
Another thing they're doing is rechanging the shape
A little
a little bit, and they're basically going to put the same crap back in, and they're like, here you go. It might have an updated Bluetooth. They might be going from like Bluetooth 3 to 5 or something,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Overall,
I mean, price point, they're not investing that much more money in the peripherals for the consoles.
yeah. But, I mean, what more can they do? They've already got motion controls, unless they're, gonna have it to where you can just like put like the controls on your fingers, which I think actually Guitar Hero did that for one of their Game Boy versions or the DS versions.
Yeah, I remember the
Yeah.
DS version.
That was very weird, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. DualSense. So.
I always want us to get to the point in gaming where remember the movie Hackers,
Kind of.
where we're just all in the VR. Like, and that's just, and not. I know we can do that now, but like I'd like to be more commercialized to where we could all do it.
I want the movie Ready Player One
Yeah.
to be a thing.
That would be great.
You're like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I think it has adaptive triggers, which are cool. Haptic feedback. I mean, the haptic feedback, that's kind of like the rumble system that the Switch Joy-Cons have. Like that what's the technology called? It's something rumble. HD rumble? Yeah, I think it's HD rumble. Maybe I could be wrong.
It's where it's got like a variable rumble to it, depending on how close or far you are away from what's rumbling.
Yeah, it's like while the rumble technology seen in the PS4 controller vibrates intensely during particular in-game events, it wasn't particularly fine-tuned to the player's experience. Haptic feedback simulates touch, meaning the controller will output vibrations or movements to replicate a real-life touch experience. This aims to improve the controller's feedback and therefore players' immersion, which does well for Sony considering they're going to go for more of the single-player story-driven games.
No.
Which basically means they just invest a little bit more time to try to fine tune the controller, so that way it have variable rumble.
Yep.
Which I'm fine with, like a more fine-tuned single-player experience.
Yeah, I actually saw like someone earlier that was like really dogging Sony over their decision to do that. They're like, who plays single player games anymore? Everything's
A lot of people.
Yeah, for me, I love playing role playing games. I love playing games that have a story to them. I don't like jumping into a game that doesn't have a story, honestly. Like I don't enjoy Fortnite.
No.
I don't enjoy just a shooter like
Call of Duty.
Anymore because the story is just kind of generic and everything.
Yeah.
The last shooters that I really enjoyed were some of the like Halo 3, Halo Reach.
Yeah, which Halo has a great story to it.
Yeah. That's why I enjoyed it. That was more for the story because I always would play through the story before I even jumped into multiplayer. I never would jump straight into multiplayer for the Halo games.
And that's like with, Halo Reach was probably the best story of any of them.
Saddest.
It definitely. Like that ending, like that is like an exercise in futility.
Yeah. What do you get? Everyone dies.
Yeah. I used to hate that in horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever see Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning? Mm-hmm. I hated that.
Is that the one in 2003?
It was the prequel to the 2003 version.
Yeah.
It came out a couple of years later. But everyone died in that, and I was like, this movie sucks.
And then you go back and you're like, oh, well, maybe that wasn't too bad. Cause
Yeah. No, I still think that. Like, it was not good. The 2003 remake, though, of Texas Chainsaw Massacre was great. Mm-hmm. But the beginning was awful. I don't mean the beginning of the movie, just the beginning of that movie.
I just can't watch it without thinking of Full Metal Jacket, like the whole time.
Oh, because of Arlie Ermy? Yeah, I get that.
Oh. Yeah.
Like, that really kind of made Jessica Biel's career, like, as a movie star, surprisingly. I think it probably helped that Michael Bay was behind it.
Was there not more explosions?
How many explosions do you really need in Texas Chainsaw Massacre? You need like the butcher shop to explode and just like rain gore on everyone.
Every time
Michael
you saw
Bay,
into
though.
someone, they should explode.
Yeah.
Not like body parts. They actually be like an actual explosion.
That's Michael Bay drinking, man.
That would be amazing.
He just runs up and punches one of them and then they explode.
That would be cool. I'd actually like to see that.
And just their face is left over. That's it.
Yeah. And like it just like kind of like flies onto him and like just adheres. You know what? He needs to direct a Zelda movie of Majora's Mask.
I seen a joke the other day. It's like Zelda, and it's like, I'm trapped in this castle by this guy. I need some help, and it's like, hold on, I'll send a link.
Nice.
Well, that's actually all I had to discuss this week was price and stuff. Oh, one more thing, actually. I misspoke. So, Microsoft kind of fired the first shot with unveiling things, but one thing they haven't unveiled was their price
For the Xbox.
for the Xbox Series X. And Sony's kind of stepped in and been like, hey, this is how much our console is going to be. And next week, I believe, or the week after next, there's going to be a Microsoft event, but it's a Microsoft Studios event, so most likely it's just going to show off some games. Actually, Halo is probably going to be one of them. And that's probably still not going to give the price point. They've actually came out in an article saying that it would not be discussed yet. So, kind of wondering if with Sony dropping their price point as low as it is, if that kind of puts some heat on Microsoft. Like, oh, we thought their console was going to be like $700. Now what are we going to do? Because that was our thing.
It never quite pans out the way they hope, I think.
It makes me think, if you go in, this is also Microsoft related, if you go in and look at the support left for all the operating systems based off the time period of when it was installed, between home and professional and student and all that other stuff, most of your security support and everything updates end in 2021.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that sometime next year there's going to be a new Windows operating system release. They haven't actually said it, but I'm suspicious about it because if you go through everything by like July, is not receiving support anymore. Like they're cutting it off, which means either you're going to have to buy in for a new license with Windows 10, or you're going to have to upgrade to a different version of Windows 10.
Yeah. Now, do you think when they unveil the new operating system that my computer will already start out with a blue screen?
It could. And that was another thing too. Like, I think that they're building a new operating system because they're talking about.
I can't trust that. That's gonna be terrible.
One thing is there was speculation that there wouldn't be a control panel anymore, and I'm like, okay. I can kind of see where they're going with this because if you need to find out information about your computer, you gotta go like 3 places. You gotta go to the control panel, or you gotta go into the system.
And then you go to Google because somebody else actually knows what's wrong with it. Because
that's the fourth place. And then the other place is you have like a a device manager.
Yeah.
So you have to go like all these separate places within Windows to figure out information about your computer. But they're wanting to subsidize all that into just one central location and kind of do away with the control panel.
Yeah.
So there was talk that they were bouncing that idea around, and honestly, I would be for that.
Yeah, I'm fine with simplicity.
So I think what's going to happen since it's 2020 and we know this year's already messed up, they're actually going to release it this year, and it's just going to be called Microsoft Me Too.
No. Microsoft Millennium.
That's why Me Too, like Millennium Edition 2, Me Too.
Oh God, they made Microsoft Millennium 2.
that would be terrible.
I remember how bad the first one was.
Yep.
It was awful.
I was with them for so long, and then I think 8 was the when the problem started.
8 or 8.1.
Yeah, and then 10 is better,
10's better.
but
7's still one of the best.
yeah, this year though they have just been destroying their product.
Like Corey said, though, they could be just tinkering to see how to fine tune it and everything, and then
That's one thing that's doing right now.
Windows
is
Me Too.
With the Windows Insider thing, they're releasing like a lot of updates that are crashing people's computer, but overall, they're getting feedback on what they need to change and stuff.
Yeah.
if
And
we
it
do
makes
this, it breaks the computer.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
So
okay.
why they're going to be pushing out so many updates, or why they already have, is because they're building this new operating system.
Yeah, well, wasn't a couple months ago that the update that I installed had knocked out the wireless driver on my computer?
Yeah.
I remember that.
There was people in the Windows Insider program. Which I read this a long time ago. I think I even talked about it. They didn't even have a start button.
Yeah,
Like install the update, and then they couldn't roll back the drivers or anything. They couldn't roll back the update. They couldn't uninstall the update.
Yeah.
So basically, they had to format and reinstall Windows.
I was going to say, couldn't they do like a boot menu and then restart from a?
No,
They
it wouldn't.
couldn't-
It wouldn't.
Oh no!
It
They couldn't go anywhere.
It would just say that it was unable to access that
Oh,
because
My.
they didn't have administrative
Oh, they didn't
authority.
have-
Because when they installed the update, the Windows computer itself has the administrative authority over the
No.
update.
I'm the administrator
Even
now.
though it's your administrator, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm the administrator now. That's the meme right there.
So it was.
I feel like a lot of Windows PCs are going to get the old Yeller treatment here in a little bit.
Oh, Paul, don't make me do it.
Oh jeez. Well, that wraps up my talk. Hey, Halo's coming, by the way.
Yeah.
PC Halo 3 for the PC.
Halo 3 for the PC. And
Which is
won't be able
crazy
to play.
that it's just taking. It's just now coming out. How long ago did Halo 3 released? 2007.
Weren't we in high school?
Yeah, 2006, 2007.
Yeah,
it came
I
out on
was out of
360.
Oh yeah, you probably.
6. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
So yeah, we were just like the year before we graduated. Corey, when did you graduate?
4.
4? Okay. So a couple years after you. All right.
Yep. I remember playing it my senior year on, like, my friend's mom was teacher, so she would, like, we'd go to her room, bring her Xboxes, and while everyone else was doing,
Nice.
something else, we're like, we're going to play some Halo.
So that was a good time with honor choir, like when it was show day, because we didn't have to go to school, so we'd just go over to the Mac, and then some of the band guys, they'd set up a TV and an Xbox, and we'd just play Halo until the show started.
Man, it'd be cool if you could have set it up on, like, a projector screen.
That would have been amazing.
Yes.
Keith Collar would have murdered us all.
Oh yeah.
He'd been like, "Don't touch the fancies."
Yeah. But Joe Campbell might be for it. He's a tech guy.
Maybe.
Be like, hey Joe, can we set this up? He'd be like, I didn't see anything.
That's kind of how he
Sounds like a
operates.
play.
Like,
Yeah.
well, if I don't know about your work.
Yeah. Larry said that 8 had that stupid reboot loop. He also wants to know where his giveaway prize is.
Well, that's
We gotta announce the contest first, Larry.
It's episode 20, isn't it? That we're supposed to.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
What episode are we on now?
I think 18. I'm not entirely
We're still a
sure.
few episodes away, Larry.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't really know what episode we're on. I put in 18 as a placeholder. I kind of lost track of time.
I like that. Oh, jeez. So, up next.
I mean, I can take it if you guys want.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So one thing that I guess showed up on my radar here is I don't actually remember this part. So apparently with Android apps, there was this malicious software going around within the Play Store. It was attached to various apps because how it works is apps show up on the Play Store, but then they go through like a cycle before they're like basically listed as a trusted app by Google.
Yeah.
But there for a while, you can install it anyway, even though it's not been finalized as a trusted app through Google. So there's a bunch of these apps, and most of the time it's like those really garbage, like spam apps that people download. It's like slot machines and all this other stuff. So anyway, it would sign people up. Like it had this software, it was called Joker, and it would sign people up for various monthly subscriptions that they didn't sign up or didn't even know about.
Oh.
And then their bank account was getting hit for like, subscription fees over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And this is called fleeceware, which I didn't actually know that was a term.
I didn't either.
It
makes sense though. They're fleecing you.
Yeah, if you hear that term, that's what that means. So apparently, it's made its return back to the store disguised as 11 apps. So it's saying now that Google has went through and since removed those as of a day ago.
One of them Skyrim, isn't it?
Yeah, Skyrim for sure. Skyrim. But they urged everybody to look at your bank account, and it gave like different things to look for as like, who it's going out to, and it was like com.image compressed on Android, or, it's like look for these in your bank account transaction history.
Yeah.
And make sure that you're not getting hit with these subscriptions. So I would urge anybody that to check their bank account if you've installed anything that's like a new release on the Android store, just to make sure you're not getting subscription feed to death right now.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Speaking of Android, did you see Crash Bandicoot?
I did, and that was another talking point. Activision brings it to Android. It's called Crash on the Run.
So it's going to be like the Mario Run game.
I imagine it's going to be little side scrollers like swipe up, swipe down.
Yeah.
The one levels where you're running from the boulder.
Yeah, so that'd be real easy. Just stick your finger there and just like,
Yeah, I'm sure it'd have a little bit of diversity. It'd probably be a free game with a lot of, pay items.
Speed boosts,
stamina.
vulnerability.
Probably have a stamina system. That's like,
pay to have that one thing that says Bootabaga, or whatever. I don't know what that is. I just call him Tiki Man. I don't know what his name is.
Tiki Man.
Yeah. Bootabaga.
Yeah, you gotta pay for that guy.
Yeah, I'd pay for it. That sounds amazing. As long as I get that.
It doesn't do anything.
The first time I said Rutabaga.
I think you said Rutabaga too.
I always thought you said Bootabaga. Bootabaga.
Yeah, but anyway,
Rutabaga.
you buy that guy, and there's just a button on the screen that you just can mash for that noise.
Exactly.
Every
Yeah.
time.
That's all I want.
Maybe it's like the invulnerability mode.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Maybe he was just in Crash Team Racing though.
No, he was in.
Oh, was he in the regular ones too? Okay.
He was all the way from one.
Okay, so he's always been a fixture of it.
He was, and the part that he played was you had to find like 3 boxes of him,
Yeah.
and then it gave you like an invincible run thing for a little bit, where you could just run through enemies or explosives and you didn't get hurt or die.
So they should do the reverse with this that they did with the last Uncharted game. Instead, like you can unlock to play an Uncharted level in the Crash on the Run instead of the opposite.
So, I guess next is, which I don't know if I've talked about this yet or not, the Amazon New World MMO.
We touched on it.
Yeah.
I've seen that
Very
it's
briefly.
getting delayed. Now they're talking spring 2021.
Okay.
I'm all for games getting delayed if they improve them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. A lot of it, according to what I've read, was pandemic related to why it's getting delayed.
Yeah.
And
So that's what they started to do with The Last of Us Part 2. They were just going to delay it so that it, because of the pandemic, they wanted to have it, a better release schedule for it. But they didn't improve anything with it.
It's still got it got a 10 out of 10 with Game Informer.
Yeah.
I did.
Last of Us Part 2.
I did it.
Yeah.
But like the reviews, the actual user reviews have tanked it.
Yeah. We can elaborate more on that after court.
Okay. And then this is, I guess I'll end with this topic because it's kind of an in-depth topic a little bit, and I don't know, it's kind of out there.
Yeah.
So, going through all these tech articles and stuff, there was one thing that caught my eye, and I didn't actually really hear about it. It was originally announced in 2017, but maybe I just didn't really see it or pay attention. But have you guys heard of a mega city called Neom that's being planned to be built in Saudi Arabia for $500 billion?
No.
I've not, but I am intrigued.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a futuristic mega city that is supposedly going to be built around the Dead Sea area.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take up 26,000 square kilometers, which is about 16,000 miles, like square.
Yeah.
In perspective, like each state in the United States is probably around 44,000 square miles. Roughly, give or take. That's just an average. So in this, they're saying that it will be, fully automated. It'll have like the leading healthcare in the world, completely futuristic. Like they're going to have it that it's going to be completely ran by robots. There's going to be flying taxis. There's stuff said in this that's not even, it's not even technology that exists yet. One thing was cloud seeding, so that way it would rain over the desert. I'm like, okay, there's going to be there's an artificial moon that is basically this just horde of drones that flies up in the sky, and it makes the shape of a moon, but it also can project outer space back. And I'm like, okay.
This seems like a waste of money.
This seems like something I want to visit.
But while I was reading it, the whole time I was reading it, I could only think about BioShock, because BioShock was a big city underwater in the first two games.
Yeah.
And then in the third game, it was a big city
In the sky.
in the sky. So I was like, this seems kind of far-fetched. Like, they're talking like flying taxis.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we don't have flying not saying that it's not maybe prototype somewhere in the world.
Yeah.
But it's not, an active item on the table in the public's eyes.
No. Like, I don't.
There are more important things that could be,
Yeah.
They're talking about
Money could
putting
be utilized for
glow-in-the-dark sand. They're going to have...
Glow in the dark
sand.
How high is the cancer rate going to be in this place?
I don't know. Well,
They had the top medical care.
they're
That's
going
not
to
what
have the
exists.
top medical care. Like,
They will eradicate cancer so that they can have glow in the dark sand.
robot maids, MMA-style robot cage fighting, like real steel.
Okay, I'm for that.
Okay.
And
we just get our own Gundam.
Yeah.
and
we have our own
Jurassic
Gundam
Park
sold.
Island that is replica of dinosaurs, but they're mechanical.
Okay.
Aw.
Well, even then, that's still not safe.
It's still not. Yeah.
And I'm like,
When the
really?
AI goes all wonky.
Exactly. Once the singularity hits, we're all
If
dead.
Microsoft's in charge of it, I'm not going.
Well, if the Microsoft's in charge of it, it won't work.
Another interesting point that they made was while many of the citizens have to work during the startup and creation of the city, schools and stuff, like each student will be taught, but they'll be taught through like an AI that appears in a hologram that they can take with them, like Star Wars.
Or like Blade Runner, like in 2049.
I am very much intrigued by this. If this comes to fruition, it's just something that where did this money come from?
Yeah. Oil.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
true.
Saudi Arabia is apparently the richest country in the world because of 5 people.
Yeah. They said that their law system is definitely, they're going to report to the king of Saudi Arabia.
Oh my
But
God,
they're also going to incorporate all of the, basically the rules of the world and, try to create a balanced law system.
So basically, that's how the new world order starts. They're going to incorporate all these world leaders, and this is going to be like the perfect city.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just going to get left behind.
So, yeah.
Great.
We're all going to be trying to break in there because, we're tired of the outside world.
It's going to be like a perfect utopian society
Yeah.
there.
Now, you said the law system is going to be there all reporting to the king. And it's called Mega City. I'm just thinking Judge Dredd. There's going to be a guy on a motorcycle just popping a cap in me because I was jaywalking. Like I feel like that's more likely.
The most probably outrageous point of the whole thing to me is they estimate this to be done in 7 to 10 years. Now this already was on record 3 years ago.
So they should be done in 2024.
I don't see it.
I don't either.
I mean, and they have to relocate more than 20,000 residents in the area in order to build it.
Started? Have they put the shovel in the ground
I
yet?
have no idea.
Like how close are they to water? Because Saudi Arabia pretty.
It's near the Dead Sea. So
It's
okay.
like right. It's basically my understanding from reading the article. It's like they're going to build against the shore of the Red Sea.
Okay.
And then they're going to build 16,000 square miles of city.
I think it was Saudi Arabia that also developed a system to where they can like desalinate water to where they can make it fresh water that's drinkable. So that would also be a good reason to have it close to the Dead Sea.
Well, I imagine that, and just for like ships and all that.
Yeah,
stuff. I'm sure
you
they'll
definitely
have,
want to be a port
massive
city.
dock with these huge ships.
Yeah.
By that point they'll probably have flying boats. Who knows?
Yeah, and everything would just be the helicarrier from Avengers.
Yeah. Well,
That's next. Like that's going to be the.
But basically, that's what they're talking. They're talking like this futuristic utopian. It's going to be, fully automated, like everything you've seen in a sci-fi movie in a city.
They'll probably also be the first ones that like give us like cybernetic transplants.
There's actually talk of that in this.
Oh Lord!
That they're talking about hiring the best human genetics in the world, and they're going to basically make it where they have like modified genetics, and they're going to, like you said, make cybernetic.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been stated before that within our lifetimes that people will no longer have to die because of being able to implant your memories, all of your being into another.
I mean, it's probably going to be like a Black Mirror or Altered Carbon type deal.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Altered Carbon type deal. Like
the thought of that terrifies me though. Like I mean, because like on the one hand, it's not me. It's me, but it's not me.
Yeah.
It's like it's an artificial clone.
Like later on down the road, are you like the Avatar? You have like all these past lives where you.
Yeah.
I imagine though, like according to the sentence, that every citizen there will be a citywide automation tracking for everyone. So imagine in order to track everyone, you have to have some type of peripheral device on you or in you for them to track you.
So this is going to be like a huge police state.
Yeah. This is like really combining all sci-fi movies and apocalyptic movies, like all in one.
Like so, like you got like on the one hand you have like the great like you said the utopia. On the other hand, you have no freedom whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
But also it's Saudi Arabia, so that makes sense. Like I don't mean that to be xenophobic. I mean they are very harsh with their laws. Are we? Okay, we lost connection for a second. We're fine though.
Like I don't know. Like how far is too far, guys?
What's it doing over there?
It's dipping in quality.
Okay, it's Sunlink. That's the issue.
Like how far is too far? Like we literally have movies and games that explain why most of this stuff is a bad idea.
Yeah, like Terminator.
Terminator. Jurassic
Cyberpunk
Park,
2077, right?
Yeah,
It's coming out later this year. That's another game that got delayed.
So like Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park made 5 movies of why you should never genetically recreate dinosaurs.
But here they are, still doing it.
It's like, but we're gonna make mechanical dinosaurs, with human error.
So, speaking on dinosaurs and them cloning, aren't they still supposed to be working on cloning legitimate dinosaurs?
I think so.
That's terrifying.
Now, if we can like do something to where we can like crossbreed to where like I can have like not the mama from baby baby dinosaur from dinosaurs, then let's talk. But because I just want like a chubby dino baby who's just like gonna hit me with a frying pan because that's adorable. But otherwise,
it would be all fun and games to have like a little velociraptor until it starts eating you.
Yeah,
I think
it's like having a pet piranha.
It's like going on the safe side. I'd rather have like Ankylosaurus or something like that. You know,
At least with a
herbivore.
piranha, man, as long as it's out of the water, you're safe.
Yeah.
Unless it's in this future city, then they're going to have walking piranhas, apparently.
I mean, yeah. They'll be like the Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They'll just have like a suit that they walk around to chase you with.
Whenever I seen an article, I was in so much disbelief. Like, I was like, is this legit? So I went and looked, and yeah, there's like Wall Street Journals and People Magazine and Business Insider, everything talking about the city. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know how they're going to achieve this unless, like, they've got some crazy, like, Tony Stark tech over there that we don't know about.
I mean, they might. You know, yeah.
If you build a fully automated city, how much power would it take? Like, where are they going to get that kind of resource to run
all the oil underneath it.
That's a lot of solar, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you burn oil, then you get a lot of byproduct from that.
I would say it'd be more towards like solar, because I mean they do have solar panels now that are.
There
clear,
was
you
mention that
windows.
they're gonna have solar and wind power, but I don't know how much the wind blows over there. But even
Well, they
at
do have
that,
pretty big
like,
sandstorms, don't they?
how much sunlight? I mean, it would take crazy amounts of solar energy.
Well, if you like I was saying, they have like glass panels now that like it's see through, but they are solar panels. If you have each building powering itself with glass panels, have it futuristic, you're going to think a lot of it's going to be like glass structures and stuff. So you can have a significant amount of solar
That seems
panels.
like a terrible
Yeah.
plan though, because don't they have like, sandstorms and all that stuff over there?
Oh yeah, but I'm sure they'll, if this, in this perfect society, I'm sure they'll figure a way to make these things like.
They're gonna have a big dome that just closes over the city.
Yeah.
They're making an artificial moon with drones.
I mean, I guess
It's weird. It's
Yeah.
really weird. Artificial moon with drones.
like it seems like this whole place is already enclosed. Like to have something like that, like to have that as a thing. The other thing too, like how much you'd have to have like a lot of batteries for that. Like all the lithium that Elon Musk is taking up for Tesla right now, I don't think that would be enough to power, like to make a batteries big enough for a city like this. And if they did that for every, you seem like you seem like you have information.
I have a point.
Okay.
That I want to make late. No, it's gonna be later. And
Okay.
We'll bring it back up later.
Yeah, okay. But I kind of lost my train of thought there. But
You're talking about batteries and
Yeah.
trying to store it all.
see if there's something that is going to end up being how we're going to do this, like if this becomes like a model for other cities in the world or just other countries in general, one, we're either going to have to like severely depopulate to where we can have enough resources for this, or we're all going to have to migrate to one area.
I don't know. In the article, it talked like they were going to try to stretch this city across like 3 countries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is bizarre.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I'm interested to see how this could work out. I don't know if it will, but
I don't know. I feel like what they're talking. I mean, it's stuff like not even Star Wars movies are that advanced.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, they're in outer space and everything. They got these huge flying ships, but when you get down to it, I mean, yeah, some of the cities are pretty advanced in your major cities in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they're talking that far ahead. We're not even close to that.
no,
I think I have more faith in Elon Musk and populating Mars than I have faith in this city.
yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Because that's his plan. He wants to start populating
That's
Mars.
the difference, I guess, between someone rich and someone rich and crazy.
Yeah. Which is which here, though? I said Musk is rich and crazy. Yeah,
Musk is rich and crazy.
yeah. Like he's crazy enough to do it.
Yeah.
So far, it's worked for him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, he's not afraid to make mistakes and blow stuff up.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm willing to go bankrupt to make this work.
Good news, everyone. I sent someone to Mars. Bad news is I blew it up. Wait, what? You blew up Mars?
I was trying to plant the potatoes from Martian.
Apparently, potatoes and Martian soil do not mix well.
Yeah. Turns out that you can't power a rocket on weed. I'll tell you what.
Well, I mean, that's really about the end of
Okay.
what I got. Man, I don't know. That city.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're rounded out with some comic and action figure
Comic
talk.
corner.
A little jingle like that. Like, we need to make
That's
it
good.
like Kevin's Comic Corner.
So Marvel announced that they've got an upcoming Venom event, which is, I guess, is going to be the final part of the trilogy. Yes.
Is Venom in that cup?
Yeah.
Yes. It was. I drank all of it.
It's going to be the final bit of this little trilogy that Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman have been writing. It's called King in Black, which is going to have Null, which is the symbiote god, finally having his big confrontation with Eddie Brock.
Okay.
So what he's been working on with his story that he's so far is that they've introduced Null, who is basically, he was there at the beginning of time. He had the symbiotes are actually part of Celestials, and he created the Ebony Blade, which was a big part of Jason Aaron's Thor run. So now, we've got Venom tied in with the Asgardians. So, I don't think anybody ever thought it was going to end up being something like that with his stories.
I like that though.
Yeah. So, and one of the things that they've revealed in it was that, they've started giving a name to, what the race of the symbiotes are, which is Clintar. Clintar is not necessarily the race of the symbiotes. Clintar is an alien word for prison.
Okay, so
They collectively were a prison around Null to keep him
safe.
Yeah, not to keep him safe, keep everyone else safe.
Okay, so they were imprisoning his powers.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, I think this is gonna be fun. It's been a really good run what they've been doing the past years. I sent you some links to some things. They even had him dealing with the Kree. I think it was the first Host miniseries, what it was called. So, this is. If they could start doing some of this stuff with the MCU, it would be amazing. How cool would it be to have Venom and Thor interacting on screen?
You having hopes and dreams of Kevin?
I know.
I don't know with the way the franchises and how they're working against each other, if it would ever happen. I mean, yeah,
It'll eventually happen, I think.
Yeah, it will. Disney will be like, give me all of my properties.
Yeah. They almost lost it.
Disney will be like, how much? And Sony will be like, okay, it's this.
Yeah.
They'll be like, there you go.
Yeah, Mickey just got to open that checkbook. See you in the next Thor. So, yeah. But that event is going to be starting in December this year. So, it's a good time. It'll probably actually finish next year then because, if we can just get through December, we'll be fine.
2020 will end, and
Yeah. And then, 2021, that's when everything will be fine. Hopefully. So the other thing is Hasbro has started doing sort of like their own little Kickstarter. It started with, I think, a Cookie Monster plush. And then they did like a 7-foot-long Jabba's sail barge from Return of the Jedi.
Huh.
It was, or maybe it was 5 feet. It was big. And it was $500.
I mean, they have the life-size fur plush for Pokemon, so
Yeah, that's true. But I think that one's still more reasonably priced than these.
possibly.
Of course, they don't need as much plastic. Well, yesterday, Hasbro announced their next HasLab project, which is going to be a 26-inch tall Sentinel from the X-Men. 70 points of articulation.
That's a lot.
Most of it is in his hands, because his fingers are individually jointed.
Wow. I remember back in the day, they had the Sentinel figures that was from the series.
Yeah, like 10 inches tall that you could...
They were about that tall or something.
The only thing that moved was the arms and the chest folded out to where you could put a character in there.
I feel like you could move the legs, but it was just right at the hip.
Yeah.
It was like you could have him standing in a splits position or something.
Yeah. So they'll see here in a second, but the Yeah, you can see it. So what's going to come with this is a figure of Bastion, who was a big villain for Marvel or for the X-Men in the 90s. He himself is a Sentinel, but from the future.
Okay.
So he was responsible for the storyline Operation Zero Tolerance. And
It sounds like it's state police.
yeah, it does. But you can see
Sounds like
the
something that's going to go on now.
yeah, like you can see the scale there though of that.
Like,
Yeah, it looks
compared
pretty
to
good.
Yeah, it's how much taller was it? It's 9 inches taller than the previous largest Sentinel they put out. So, and I was thinking, you know what would be really great for this? Now you can see the Bastion figure also will come with a Sentinel Prime head as an alternate for it, which looks that figure looks really cool. Like I would like to see that released separately. And just like to go back real quick to that the tentacle that the Sentinel has, that is 18 inches tall or 18 inches long, and it's bendable to where you could like wrap it around, and the eyes and chest light up on the Sentinel. So they announced that yesterday. They already met their funding goal.
wow, that was quick.
Yeah, they needed 6,000 backers. They got it. So with 7,000 backers, you get a nice little surprise. And I was like, what? The size of this thing is missing something. It would really be more fitting for Master Mold. They're doing Master Mold. So once they get 7,000 backers for it, it's going to include an alternate Master Mold head for it, which that's going to be pretty cool. The price point on this though is $349.99. Yeah.
My wallet.
Yeah. Like on the one hand, I get it. It's all new tooling that they had to put together. A lot of moving parts in this, and electronics. But I mean, you take away the Bastion figure, and then okay, so it's still $330. So it better be worth it. There's going to be 2 more tiers that they show unlocking. So once it reaches those funding goals, maybe it'll be a little more worth it. I'd like to see it come with 5 Bastion figures.
Five X-Men
Yeah.
figures.
Just throw in a whole X-Men team.
Yeah.
Throw in X4 or something.
I feel like if you just included something a little more with it, it would be a little more worth it. But just for just alternate heads and a smaller figure coming with it.
I mean, they added so much to the Spawn figures that you were showing before. Every week you were like, oh, they added this and this and this.
That's
and
true.
this,
Yeah,
and this.
but this, and that's. I feel like Todd really gave us our money's worth.
Yeah.
Hasbro's a lot bigger company than McFarlane Toys is. I feel like they can do better.
What would make it worth the money? If they added in, if you could just choose one figure to add in with it.
Okay. That's a hard one. 'Cause,
One that's very articulate, you could.
No.
Mojo.
Okay.
Do you know who Mojo is from the? He wasn't on the X-Men animated series very much. Mojo has he's like a slug man that's in a scorpion walking apparatus.
That would have a lot of articulation. Though.
Yeah.
That would.
That would. This is not to do a disservice to what the design team did with the Sentinel figure itself, because that is amazing looking.
Yeah.
But for my dollar, I don't know if I'd pay $350 for it. I mean, but also I have paid $100 for a 6-inch action figure,
Right.
so.
But it's one that was really sought after for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And it's and with this being a Kickstarter type thing, where you have to pre-order it to get it, this is not going to go in stores. So it's going to be, there's already that rarity to it. So, the campaigns are running until August 24th. So,
It's got some time.
yeah, if I get a windfall of cash between then I might see, and hopefully by then everything will be unlocked to see okay, is this worth it enough that this is something that I want to have?
Comes with an entire team of X-Men.
I'd be happy. Honestly, I would really be happy if it just came with like more of the Bastion Sentinel figures. Like that would be enough for me because I like army building a little bit, and this, that would be I think that would be enough of a win, just to include like another like a full squad of Sentinel figures. Not necessarily 26-inch size. I'll just keep him as Master Bolt, and I'll just use the others as the regular Sentinels. So. Which they might even do like there's another character in X-Men called Sentinel Prime who is not just her or not just him, but it's a female character that I think she was introduced in Excalibur when they had it as just about Professor X and Magneto. So she would have also a lot of new tooling and parts with her, so that'd be probably more worth it as well.
Maybe that's what they should do. They should make a Magneto figure that his whole hand's made out of metal, and he's got a little switch on the back that works like an electromagnet in his hand. He just goes.
That'd be neat. They have done a couple of other companies have done some Magneto figures recently where it has that. It's just an alternate hand you pop on where it's got the magnet in there.
Yeah.
So it's clearly doable. Well, that's what the Toy Biz did that in the 80s or 90s.
I feel like those, it's more like a novelty desk item.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen one where, people are using it for like paper clips.
Yeah.
They got paper clips all over it.
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah. So, speaking of magnets, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about today. Got a little product review. So, this over here is the Skoshi Magic Mount battery, portable battery, and what this is, it's 400 milliamp external battery, and I found this to be super helpful for me. When I was filming sports, football games and all that, using the camera links and stuff. They've got about a 3-hour battery charge on them, like when they're fully charged. A lot of games I've gone to really. They last a lot longer than that, so I needed a better solution for that. So that's when I got these. The magnet part wasn't. I didn't even care about that. Like that's nice. I mean, yeah, that's super nice. But if I maybe had actually attached the plate to it, to anything to where I can mount it, I think I threw those away at one point. But. For the price on these, you can get 2 of them for $15.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and actually today I didn't feel like digging out a USB cable because I've been working on some things at my house, reorganizing my equipment, and I didn't feel like digging the USB cable out to charge the camera link, so I just used one of these to charge it, and it actually charged it quicker. So. I mean, on B&H right now, you can get 1 for 10, 2 for 15, or 3 for 20.
That's not bad at all.
And they also have a USB-C version.
Did you say it's a 4,000 milliamp?
I think 400. Was I wrong?
I think you mean 4,400.
40. Yeah, that's.
Oh, it's 4,400.
I think I'm trying to find that one. I can't find it, but
Well, I'll see if I can find it here. But
in perspective, like the battery in my cell phones average about 1,600 milliamp.
yeah,
So, that battery bank would have to be significantly larger than a battery phone. If it only had 400 milliamp, it wouldn't even charge 5% of something really.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, it was 4,000 milliamp. That's what it
Okay.
was. Okay.
So I was thinking, I was like, it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, I read it wrong earlier, but yeah, like for the price, and if for someone that does a lot of on-the-go filming that I do, you can't really beat that. For charge it once. There's been some reviews like, it stopped working after like twice. I'm like, I've used this like for an entire football season, never had any problems. I have 2 of them, so.
I did. Whenever I was looking at battery banks and stuff, I was actually looking at one to charge a Switch,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's 21,000 milliamp.
Yeah.
They recommend. I think Anchor is one of the recommended brands
Yeah.
for Switch. The Switch, their battery or the electrical input, their whole thing is really weird, and they don't recommend a lot of products.
Should be.
Are we
Check
having
the-
technical difficulties?
Yeah. There's no light on that.
Oh, there's no light
No.
on that. The camera battery's showing low.
Oh yeah, the camera. Yeah, 'cause it's not plugged into anything other
Okay,
than
just
that.
making sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't remember what I was saying now.
The battery, the Anchor battery bank for the Switch.
For the Switch, that's one of the ones that they're one of the only ones they recommend is the Anchor one.
Well, I can see that, and that's one thing too. Whenever you're shopping for battery banks and stuff like what you're talking about, you really need to go for one that's not like, I guess, like Black Web. Black Web stuff that you buy from Walmart.
Yeah.
It's actually not that good for you to use it.
Yeah.
The reason being is because even though it says it outputs the same thing, it puts it out at a different hertz rating.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the time, everything operates at like 60. It might put out a little bit more than 60.
Right.
But at the same time, you can overcharge the battery while charging it, and it can cause damage and heat issues.
Yeah, and that's definitely something we don't want.
So definitely, make sure that you're buying like a legit brand like what you bought.
Yeah.
It seems to be a legit company that specializes in it.
Yeah.
And Anchor is a legit company that makes tons of PC peripherals and accessories. And
That's the only like aftermarket charging cables I bought as Anchor.
yeah. So definitely those are.
Yeah. Sadly, Walmart's great for convenience, but not always going to have the best product.
I mean, it'll have something that will charge your phone, but you should be leery about using it too much.
Yeah.
Don't use anything aftermarket on the Switch unless it's approved by Nintendo,
Yeah.
or it will break it. It will break
Yeah.
it. You will not have a Switch anymore.
And that's actually just a good rule of thumb. If you have something that you're looking for an accessory for, a lot of if you go to the website, a lot of companies will tell you like this is what we recommend to work with it. If you don't want to buy like the official one, like here's a one that we trust.
Officially licensed by said company.
Yep. So
And Nintendo Switch is they have a very weird system protocol whenever it comes to the battery. If the battery is overcharged, it will not come on. If the battery explodes internally because you overcharged it,
yeah.
obviously the Switch won't come on. But I don't know. Like even with the Switch, if it drops below 1%, trying to get it to come back on to charge is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever ran into that.
Yep.
Mine's been completely dead before. Yeah.
And you have to sit there and you have to push and hold the button and see if it tries to come on, and then you plug the cable in. It sits there and flashes, but it won't charge.
Yep.
It's really really
You
dumb.
kind of have to let it literally sit there on charge, not touching it for a while, and then give it a little bit. Then
Try to push the button.
I think you hold it in for like 13 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Work
really
them on.
weird.
No. Yeah, I've had that issue before, especially with the winter this past year. I honestly thought my Switch light was broken just because I couldn't get it to come back on, and the battery would die in like 5 minutes after fully charged.
Cold temperature, like extremely cold temperatures and extremely hot temperatures are bad for electronics.
Yeah.
I mean, just simply put.
Yeah.
I know, Corey, you work outside a lot, so you deal with that with phones and everything.
No.
And your phone's overheated, you cannot use it right now.
No.
I remember when I worked on cell phone towers, I would have that problem a lot. I'd be like, oh, I want to take a picture of this being up really high. And I cannot.
Which that's one good product thing with it. It's like it'll have it's a nice safety feature, but not always good. Not always the best when you need it conveniently.
Whenever I'm working or whatever, like I usually keep my phone in a clip, so that way it's not in my pocket getting super hot while I'm super hot.
Yeah. So I need to use my clip more. Yeah, but that's all I got. Like I said, if anybody's interested in getting one of these, B&H has it for. Honestly, I would go ahead and get the 3-pack.
Yeah.
$20 for 3 of them. That's not bad.
And you said you can get the USB-C.
Yep.
What other tips does it come with?
That's it. It's a mini, USB mini, and USB Type-C.
Okay.
So if you're an iPhone user,
Sorry.
yeah, unless you're like a newer iPhone user,
Because they use
they use the USB-C. But if you are like with me, I have the 8 here. I'm out of luck if I want to use it for that.
I think they actually make a lightning cable that has C on one end and then the iPhone lightning end.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah,
There's a conversion, I'm sure.
yeah.
I
So
feel like I've seen them on Amazon.
I have to check that out because I might because these are. Like where when I do have to travel right now, it's not real convenient for me to if I don't have my phone charged. It's never convenient if somebody doesn't have their phone charged, but I can't charge it in my car unless I have a battery bank.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I was talking about that ferret plush, by the way, and it's $650.
That's not bad.
It's 6
Well,
feet
yeah, that's
long.
still okay. Well, yeah.
They're discontinued now, but
Oh.
I mean, if you want a cuddle buddy, there you go.
Need a Snorlax one.
Yeah, really. They do have like the big Snorlax beanbag type of things. But something I was going to bring up, this brought me to a point that we were talking about last week, and you're talking about the artificial moon. Now, would the artificial moon trigger a Saiyan's ability to turn into the Ozaru?
Yes.
Yes. Would the drone artificial moon do it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had like the artificial moon like blast thing they could do, so that would.
Vegeta's like, ah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the way the article was talking is it would somehow take imagery from outer space and then project it through the drones.
Still, I would think.
Okay.
I would still think it would probably work that way.
Yeah, because technically it's just like taking a live video feed from space and then projecting it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to get on to this then. Since we're fighting on Fighter Z, who's your first character going to be? Because you pick 3.
I'm probably going straight Boo Saga.
Just going straight Buu Saga.
I'm going Gohan.
Which one?
Adult Gohan.
Adult Gohan?
Or Teen Gohan, rather. Adult Gohan sucks. Teen Gohan was where it was at.
I'm going to go with Goku Black.
I'd probably pick Boo, Gotenks, and Gogeta.
I'm going with Goku Black. I'm actually going to go with Janemba.
Wait, wasn't Gogeta? Was it Vegito?
Vegito was the merger.
With the Patora.
Yeah, with the Patora earrings, yeah.
Yeah. So
And my third one is going to be maybe Hit.
Yeah.
Or no, you pick Teen Gohan, so I'll pick Hit.
Okay. Now, when I say Teen Gohan, I do mean Mystic Gohan.
Okay.
Like
I'm saying Cell Saga Gohan.
No,
That's
okay,
Teen
yeah,
Gohan.
that's okay, yeah. So I mean, like potential unlocked Mystic Gohan from the Buu Saga. Then Future Trunks
Okay.
and Majin Vegeta.
I don't know if he's on there or not.
He's still cool. Okay, let's see.
I love Majin Vegeta though. Still one of my favorites.
Android 17.
17.
Bulma.
Master
Roshi.
Oh, I forgot Master Roshi.
Master Roshi was in the Tournament of Power. He actually did some good stuff in there. He's a good tactician.
I would have Master Roshi on my team if I really needed him.
can't
Not just in a
remember
fighting
who
game,
else
but like if I really
was
needed him.
Does he like fly in the air with a walker?
Yes.
Could.
No, flying was actually illegal in the Tournament of Power. That was one of the rules. Even though it seemed like they still did it,
Yeah.
but like I don't know. Like it's like, did they forget about that rule and they just let them fly still? Because they're still flying, but they're not flying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I forgot, we were going to talk more about The Last of Us. Part
yeah.
2. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, great. Okay, so I started playing it. Was not going to pay for the game, but I was able to borrow it. On the what, like... So I recently started playing Last of Us Remastered to get amped for this, and I was stupid and decided to do it on the hardest setting. But also it's a little more fun that way too with the challenge. Gameplay and graphics look amazing in The Last of Us Part 2. Story, I just like they really want to pull they went for shock factor for no reason. Just for no reason. Because have you guys seen the spoilers that they put out for it? Well, you guys, neither one of you play PlayStation, right?
No.
Okay, so if you don't want to hear spoilers for Last of Us Part 2,
Cover your ears.
Yeah. Like you can go ahead and like we'll pinkies out for you, you know, if you want. But yeah, so here's where I'm gonna have some spoilers on it. So, do you plan on playing? Okay. Just want to make sure everybody's in the room. So they killed Joel immediately, which Joel was the main character from the first one. Just like an hour into the game, and it's not like even like really just because of the gameplay. Like this would probably be like 5 minutes or whatever, you know, if you take it at that. But just immediately kill him, and it's like why? And then I was listening to a podcast, and Neil Druckmann, who was one of the one of the writers and one of the creative directors for the game, said like, yeah, I just didn't think there was anything left to tell with this story. It's like, really? It's like he killed a whole bunch of people to save this girl that he barely knew, and you don't think there's anything more to tell with his story?
It seems like very lazy storytelling in my book. Like
all it does is it needlessly sets up a revenge plot for Ellie to work after. You could have done that in a completely different way with the same results and probably better results.
Right.
And they make you play like a third of the game as the person who killed Joel.
That's like a dick move.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like I don't like, and they try to make you sympathize with it. Like, no, why? It's like I don't like. There was a lot of times like I was playing as her, and here's the thing that sets it up even worse. Like she's going after him at the first part of it. You don't know that that's what she's doing. Is that she's going after Joel, but she's being overrun by a bunch of infected, and then Joel and his brother save her, and that doesn't give her a moment of pause. It's like everything I knew about this guy was that he was like an emotionless like killing machine. He killed like my family and everyone, and like he's saving me. Does that make sense? Like that would give me a little bit of pause, I would think. I was like, why would you take the entire time after that just to set him up, just so you and your group could kill him? It just bothers me. And then like there's yeah, just like having to play as her. Like I didn't even care that when I died repeatedly after it. It's like I started playing it the other day, and I didn't want to pick it up again because I knew that it was going to be coming where Joel was going to die. I was like, if I don't have to do this, then it's not real. So, yeah. And supposedly, like, they're going to kind of hand the reins off to her for the next game. If there even is a next game. But
actually, there is. There has been talk. I think that's a Naughty Dog production.
Yeah.
They're going to make a multiplayer-based open-world game. It was sometime released 2021.
No.
Based in The Last of Us, realm.
Yeah. Well, like that would be more interesting because that's it would be, especially if they did it in a way kind of similar to Death Stranding, where everyone is contributing to building this world.
I would be interested in maybe seeing something that plays like 7 Days to Die or something like that.
Yeah.
It's more like a survival craft.
Yeah.
Build.
So that would be good.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with something like that.
They didn't have it like, I don't know, like you start out in one area, but as you venture farther into the more difficult areas, it's high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool, but
yeah, and especially if they would have to have it as like a sort of a smaller region, kind of like with what they did with Fallout 76, have a very like specific geographic region for people, because otherwise I don't think they'd be able to handle it.
Yeah, but then maybe have it set up like a little bit of PvP, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to fight people off, because I think in a lot of those games you do.
Yeah.
Like, it's other players trying to attack you, take your stuff.
Be interesting if there was like a gameplay mechanic, which I guess all in PvP, like where you actually have to fight off the infected, and then like there could be like a reward system if you choose not to kill the group that you were working with. So, other than just having to kill people to get rewards.
Yeah.
You know what game we need a remake of?
What?
Dino Crisis.
Oh yeah, they haven't done that in a long time. How many did they have? One or two?
I just remember the one, but they may have had two.
Yeah. Like that was kind of like with the Resident Evil. It was both Capcom, right? I think it was the same development team.
It was Resident Evil Dinosaurs.
Yeah. Even scarier than Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's there you go. If you want to know what will happen if you make dinosaurs come back to life, there's another reason not to.
Yep.
Yeah, there's actually two of those.
Okay.
So, going back to Jurassic Park before we cut out and Pinky's out.
Mm-hmm.
The original movies was, bringing the dinosaurs back and everything. Was it dead?
No, it's coming though.
Okay, so I'll just say real quick. So, with Jurassic World, they made them to where it's like, we can't be satisfied.
Yeah.
They've already brought back dinosaurs. What more do we want? Well, let's make them bigger and badder and faster and stronger
Yeah.
because that's like what we always crave. We want bigger and badder and everything, and we want more always. We can't just be satisfied. So that was the whole point of the Jurassic World movies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean that certainly fits with everything in life.
You want to go anything else before we?
No,
Well,
I'm good.
Before we die.
Before
Yeah.
the camera dies on us. Well, until next week, thank you all for joining us, and
Pinky's out. Pinky loading.